Hello, you. Yes, you. This is Usayome Sale from Ways Primetime. Now, we appreciate your continued support for watching our content, following us across all our social media. But we've noticed, for those of you watching us on YouTube, 88.5% of you who watch our content aren't subscribed to our channel. Why? Now, if you are enjoying our content, you enjoy our shows, and you want to stay updated on all things Ways, it's time to hit that subscribe button below. Now, subscribing isn't just for you. It's for the growth of our channel. It helps us get bigger and better. With your support, we can continue to bring even more intriguing and exciting content. How about you subscribing right now and being a part of our community?
Good morning and welcome to Ways Breakfast. Hashtag what are you saying? It's Friday, my favorite day of the week. This means that the weekend is just around the corner and I can feel the energy in the air already. It's my great pleasure to welcome with me to the table the fabulous ladies. Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Bestie. How are you?
I'm Bestie. Nice tag for the Friday. Bestie. When that comes to your bestie.
Everybody's my bestie now.
Don't be famsing us.
Everybody cannot be your bestie. Well, the word has been thrown all around now, so I don't think people appreciate that. If everybody cannot be your bestie,
all right,
best
God's
friend.
beauty. I accept the word.
This
bestie.
is just me being sarcastic, actually. So if you don't get it, you don't get it.
Guys, it's Friday. How do we feel? Friday has to be my best day of the week because it signifies rest afterwards. You get? Is that the same for you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, I will never. You will never see me subscribe to Fridays.
Because you are a machine.
Whatever.
Yeah, always.
Because I'm always working.
Break.
I do actually, but it's just like the way I was speaking to my boss about it yesterday, and I'm like, the truth is, I consider my work like a rest. So every time that I'm working, I just see myself rested. So I don't know how to explain that.
Like you in this world.
I think it's just passion doing the work. Yeah.
Any
I
plans
would
for
not
the
agree
week?
with passion doing the work. I'm sorry, I'm picking from that. I would not agree as passion doing the work.
Okay.
Passion working is different from your own working attitude. Your own working attitude will definitely be different from other person's working attitude. So the fact that you enjoy working, and you see your rest from working doesn't mean another person sees rest from working. So
Which
my
is
own
absolutely
Friday,
beautiful.
of course. My own Friday is looking sharp. I mean,
You do look sharp yourself.
thank you. I mean, just there.
Guess what, guys? Finally, I'm attending a wedding this weekend.
getting
Please
married?
make some noise.
No, but,
I've been
this is
saying
where I have
that.
an issue with you. I've been saying that I want Ashwebi. I want to get Ashwebi. So how come you didn't give me this memo long before now, so that my girlie and all of this things
I
will
did
be
not
ready?
get the memo.
You did not get the memo on time.
But
So wait till you go come here tomorrow, jeans and polo.
they why me?
I trust you. I trust you.
You will see me combine some things together and look
Hallelujah.
fabulous. But I'm really excited because I haven't attended a wedding
I mean, at the
from
jollof rice I
January.
be concerned about.
No. I
Me,
have to
attend
maintain
any
steez.
wedding
I don't
this
go
year.
for weddings
Kenny,
for rice. I go to
that's the thing.
celebrate,
Go on my behalf.
to pray for the couples, to dance,
Not be
to
small pray for the
hug
couples.
them and leave.
I think this is just you being sarcastic.
You got that right.
You got it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, go to our official Upgrade TV, click the subscribe button, turn your notifications, drop a comment, and always be part of our conversation. We'll take a short break now. When we return, there are a lot of things to look at the headlines across Nigerian newspapers. So please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now let's look through what we have for the papers this morning. We have The Punch, The Guardian, and The New York Times. Starting with The Punch, the major headline screams, serial grid collapses. Federal government orders overhaul as TCN fears more breakdowns. Federal government plans 20-hour daily power by 2027. Orders equipment revamp. Diri laments Bayelsa's 3-month blackout. Lagbaja Defense Minister, CDS and service chiefs visit widow. 2027, Makinde Saraki warns PDP bigwigs against division. Customs intercept 16 containers of illicit drugs. Lagos invites bids for power plants. For the Ondo governorship polls, we see sensitive materials to arrive Tuesday as police deploy 22,000 officers. 111 accredited groups, 3,554 observers for election, says INEC. Nigeria undergoing major reset after subsidy removal, says Soludo. Battle oil mafia, NNPCL should make refineries work, Obiagegbena. 32 states oil contractors retires 933 billion naira. And that's what we have for the Punch newspaper. So for the first time, I realized that this power grid probably doesn't affect everyone. Because when God's Beauty was mentioning this morning that Madam Hope, power grid has started again. And I couldn't relate because I did not experience it yesterday in my own household. So
Even the time where it felt like the last time before now.
So
There's
some
some places
areas-
that still had lights.
you know what really got me very surprised is the
Sorry.
fact that we Southwest people are complaining with one day power grid collapse and all. Bayelsa have been having 3-month blackout, you
Right.
guys. Very terrible. So the major story that I saw, let me just read the details for you. It says the Minister for Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has ordered the immediate replacement of aged equipment as part of the recommendations to stop the incessant collapse of the national grid. And he assured that the replacement will be achieved in 6 months. So 6 months from now, we're looking at when? April, I guess.
April, yeah.
Adelabu also directed the Transmission Company of Nigeria and all other relevant agencies of the ministry to begin the immediate implementation of the recommendations of the Interagency Committee set up to address the incessant grid collapses in the power sector. I'm wondering why it's taking 6 months to get this replacement. I mean, in 6 months, how many more power grid collapsing are we going to see? Honestly, and why is it now that they're not trying to figure out that it is to be replaced and this old
So what have they been
aged,
doing before?
exactly.
Yeah,
You see,
guess
when
they've
I
been
talk
trying
about...
to-
Go on.
I think they've been trying to, okay, let's use this, let's replace this, let's manage this. But now they are trying to ensure that, okay, this time around we're evacuating the entire bad thing and replacing it
Totally new
completely. Yeah.
That's something they would have done the first 2-3
Since,
times
because
that
we've
you
had a
fail.
lot of
Do you get what I'm
back
saying?
and forth
You see,
with
when
this
I was
thing.
saying probably is Abba-made products that they have been using. This is no jokes.
Well,
Because
honestly,
tell
if you're
me, is it the 10th time now? How many times now it has fallen? And you're not. It's now that it's like a wake-up call for you to change those things. So what have you been doing all the times that it has been falling?
Managing it.
Rain.
Great.
Let's see the Guardian newspaper.
The Guardian newspaper has a lot of interesting stories, which start from the major headline. It reads, e-learning, Nigerians in diaspora create new demand income for teachers. And there is a picture of a teacher with the system. They wrote online tutor on the system, and there is physics, English language, music, mathematics, economics, and French. In one word, teachers' rewards now online, which means people in diaspora now demand more income for teachers. So if you want to be a teacher that you will gain your reward here on earth, you might consider an online teaching. Aside that, lack of accountability, stiffening fiscal processes, FRC wants. Under it, Customs intercept 16 containers of illicit drugs at Tin Can Port. Away from that, I'm open to probe after handing over, says Obaseki, who is the outgoing governor of Edo State. Right beside it, LASU's research on rape reveals alarming rates of child sexual abuse, among others. On the light electricity issue, federal government 28 gen calls at loggerheads over 2.5 trillion naira debt amid worsening grid collapse. The bottom side of the newspaper reads, military confirms new terrorist group in the northwest. Africa accounts for 65% of global HIV burden. Atiku Damango and Wike absent as PDP leaders seek solutions to party crisis. And the final one, Red Tinubu applauds media for 25 years of democracy and nation building. And the one I'd like to quickly touch on is on the intercepting of illicit substance again. If there's something the NDLEA has done more this year is they've intercepted a lot of drugs. I've seen a video where in someone's sitting room, right under the carpet or the rug, they dug and they saw some outrageous number kilometers of drugs there. I just appreciate and I really hope that in as much as they are bringing it to the news every now and then, okay, we intercept drug, cocaine, this thing, hope that you actually punish the offenders and you don't resell the drugs to black dealers. I hope that you actually burn the drugs and, I mean, do justice to the proper drugs and not, because this is, I think I've seen a movie before where they will intercept it, they will bring it to the media source, but they will end up selling it back for an outrageous price, like they do at the ports, at the seaports. When they impound your vehicle, you impound your goods, you pay import duties, you pay a lot of duties. So, in as much as we are trying to fight illicit drugs, illegal drugs in Nigeria, let's also ensure that the change starts from the officials in charge. And that's it on the Guardian newspaper.
All right, let's quickly move straight into the international space, a New York Times newspaper. I mean, this is unusual, but I'll say the major headline because it's literally screaming, and it says, Trump storms back, he defeats Harris and caps his resurgent from outcast to felon to president-elect. Bottom of the newspaper, we have legal strategy, delay, deflect to win the office. Next to that, we have a comeback that tells us who we are. Next to that as well, democracy fears lost out to everyday worries. The last headline on the newspaper says a path seemed unimaginable. Now it's paved. So the headline I want to quickly touch on is the one that says Democrat fears lost out to everyday worries. So it's to just give updates, right, on the election, how it went and all of that. So according to the New York Times, Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign focused on protecting democracy and American values, contrasting her views with that of Donald Trump, whom she described as divisive, right? She argued that voting for her was a vote for safeguarding the nation's ideals, while a vote for Trump would bring chaos. However, when voters went to the polls, many of them were more concerned with everyday issues like the cost of living and border security rather than big picture ideas about democracy. In interviews, especially in swing states, voters expressed frustration with economic challenges and a feeling that the country was on the wrong track. My question is, do you think Trump actually, won this president forever because he has always been threatening people, or is he? I would like you to. What do you think of the significance of those threats that we hear over time from Trump? Do you think that's what impacted, him winning and all of that?
Definitely
because
not.
Somehow that's what is.
I did watch some
here.
interviews from some people. They were interviewing them and asking them what they felt about the whole election process. And it seemed as though some were saying Kamala didn't stand the chance as much because she probably didn't have enough time to run. Remember, she came in after Biden. Exactly. But even at that, with the short period of time she had, she still made significant impacts. We must agree. Look at the margin between both of them. But as much as they always say Trump was threatening and threatening and threatening, I do not know all of his agenda, but I know that he had some realistic goals that he planned to achieve, and it was resonating with people who knew that this is what they wanted to see. So that's how politics is. The media will only paint what they want you to see, but people know exactly what they want to have as that solution. And then the way the New York Times always paints this thing from felony, from outcast to felony to just appreciate the man and thank God for him. But I think why are they bringing out his because I've been seeing recently, everybody's just talking about his felon cases. They are wondering if he's going to have to still go back to those charges and everything.
It will, but for now, immunity covers him.
Immunity?
Yes, now.
But he's an elect, he's not yet president.
But once he becomes president, immunity covers him.
So why? Okay, if I don't get it, immunity will cover him once he becomes president.
Yes, they won't be able to
But he's not yet president; he's still elect. So
that's
why
what I'm
has
saying.
he not been tried?
That's why they're not inaugurating him immediately.
Exactly.
So they are taking time.
Exactly.
So
he's still under process and all of these things.
Yeah.
So they can try him now, right? He can be tried. Yeah. So again, it depends on when they adjourn. One thing we caught, once a particular matter is settled now, they take it again further. So so it depends on when the case is adjourned and all of that, right? But the truth is, if at the end of the day they make him president, then immunity covers him. So what if whatever crime that they're holding him for, also all of these crimes have like their duration.
Yeah.
So
another thing that shocked me from this story is the gains and the profit that Elon Musk got as a result of this election. It was massive. Elon has cashed out from this.
I think
election.
I would just say, I don't want to think about the election. I don't want to view the election from the Nigerian perspective. Yeah, I just want to view it from a normal media personality or a foreigner perspective. And like a boss said earlier this week, she said, United States is actually not ready for a female president. So I think I'll leave it that way. I don't think US is actually really, really ready for their first female president. Yeah, I think Trump still has the power, can fight against Russia, can fight against those countries, and defend the immunity, the legacy that United States is known for.
When we get such comments coming from
Females.
a country that ought to be world power in that sense, what would you now say for developing nations and countries that are looking up to this world power? If they are not ready for female presidents, so what's going to happen to other countries?
That's the thing.
Interesting, because they set the example. They're like the prototype that many other nations
are
follow.
following.
Interesting stories from the different newspapers this morning. We'll take a short break. When we return, our conversation this Friday is centered on technology and agriculture, climate change, in fact. So this is something you do not want to miss. We have an expert guest who will be joining us to offer his expert view on this matter. So please stay with us. We'll be right back shortly.
Life is made up of moments, some that lift us, others that break us. Welcome to Heartlines. This is our space where we explore the beauty, the heartbreaks, and the incredible strength that every relationship brings into our lives. Friendship, marriages, partnerships, and everything in between.
Yes, say yes.
All the connections that shapes who we are today. Every week, we dive into the stories that define us. Stories of love, loss, heartbreaks, and healing. Real life stories from real people, just like you and I. Heartlines is where emotions meet understanding, and where we learn that we're never truly alone. Join me Mondays through Fridays at 9:30 p.m. for Heartlines, where we connect with every heart, one story at a time.
Looking to take your business to the next level through partnerships? Then join us every Thursday at 10 a.m. for Partner Up.
Whether you're an entrepreneur, marketing, sales, or partnership professional, Partner Up is here to give you the tools you need to succeed.
From in-depth interviews with industry experts
to real-world case studies of successful partnership strategies that drive innovation and business growth.
we dive deep into what it takes to form successful partnerships.
Thursdays, 10 a.m.
Don't miss Partner Up.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you for staying with us. So today is Friday. As we get closer to the weekend, let's dive into something that's going to shape the future: climate change solution for Nigerian farmers. And Nigeria's agriculture sector, which employs over 70% of the rural population, is highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change. Nigerian farmers face increasingly unpredictable weather patterns, including extended droughts, extreme temperatures, erratic rainfalls, and flooding, which can reduce crop yields and increase the risk of pest infestation. These challenges threaten the livelihood of small-scale farmers who already have limited resources and access to technology. Climate-smart agriculture, which combines sustainable farming practices with resilience-building techniques, has emerged as a viable solution to mitigate this impact. It involves measures like improved irrigation, crop diversification, agroforestry, and drought-resistant seeds. Implementing such strategies can help farmers adapt to climate challenges, maintain productivity, and enhance food security. Additionally, training access to finance and supportive government policies are essential to empower farmers to adopt these practices. And to join us this morning is an esteemed guest and a friend of the house, Mr. Moshood Olawale Mustapha. He's a skilled software and machine learning engineer at AirSmart, an agro-based AI company empowering farmers with data-driven insight. He's also a student at the University of Lagos studying surveying and geoinformatics engineering. Olawale is passionate about the application of artificial intelligence and machine learning to geospatial development and analysis, building scalable and efficient applications that provide solutions to global warming, disaster management, predictions, optimizing agriculture processes, and many other challenges. And when he's not busy saving the world with coding, Olawale is enthusiastic about helping churches, charities, and non-profit organizations leverage technology to advance their mission and the kingdom of God. In his free time, Olawale immerses himself in books, podcasts, and self-development courses, always striving to exceed his potential. And we have a guest who has come here to pressure us with all the things he's achieved in his life. Good morning, Mr. Moshood. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Moshood.
So good to see you again.
You know, I'm really glad to have you on our show again. I remember the last time we were here, we were discussing something related to agriculture and technology, and we're here to discuss it again. And this is one conversation that we probably do not always have on this table because, I mean, young people might probably feel like the agriculture sector is not something they really want to pay attention to. We have more people focusing on tech. But I like the fact that this agriculture can have a blend of that technology too, right? So it's very inclusive. So young people, which this show focuses on, can also see and gain some knowledge from this, including myself. So the first question now is, how has climate change specifically impacted Nigerian farmers, and what are the most pressing challenges that they face today?
Yeah, thank you very much. Nigeria, the climate change environment has affected a lot of farmers in diverse ways, right? And it is majorly due to the temperature. You know, we are currently experiencing a very hot temperature, which is thereby causing drought, and most farmers are not able to now manage this season. And again, if you notice the way things have been going, the seasons haven't been the normal ones. When they ought to be rainy season, we don't have much of rainfall like that. So there has been a very drastic change in the way seasons have been moving, right? And also, these affected things like crop pest, right? So a lot of all these crops that farmers are having now, they are now increasing the pest infection around those things, right? Also, the diseases of crops have increased. Then that's why you will see a farmer is going to grow a particular crop, and over time it is going to get probably half of the yield of what they are meant to get. And that's even stage one. During importation or transportation, during storage, it even gets spoiled easily compared to the way it usually is before now. So climate change has actually changed a lot of things for farmers in Nigeria.
Interesting. Thank you very much. There's no how we'll talk about farmers and we'll not talk about climate, because they really depend on each climate, each weather at that moment to either grow one or two crops, or maybe not grow this one for this season or the next season. And now we are talking about climate change and how it affects farming. So there's something called climate smart agriculture, which means regardless, either it's rainy or it's drought season, you can plant whatever thing you want to plant. Would you like to shed more light on it for us?
Yeah, so climate smart agriculture is actually a system whereby farmers are able to like have more productivity sustainably, and also they are able to like have a system and structure to reduce carbon emission to the atmosphere, thereby causing resilience, right, in their agricultural processes. So how smart agriculture actually works is different things. Like, you know, we have some IoT devices that they can use. We have crop rotation. We have drip irrigation. These processes are things that farmers can get involved in to like actually have smart agricultural system. For instance, now during rainy season, right, there is usually abundance of rain. But during droughts, there is no rainfall. So the idea now is in smart agriculture, we can move the water that we harvest. So there's something called rainfall harvest, right? We harvest water from rainfall, basically like storing it up for drought season. And there's another thing that we call drip irrigation, whereby you are going to basically just the same way you receive drip in your body, the water is going to go directly to the roots of each of the crop that you have planted. So you avoid wasting, you know, the idea of just pour the water and it spreads everywhere. You are going to like minimize wastage of water, because to an extent, that also is like a waste of water. So all this is what comprises of smart agriculture.
I'm so sorry, but I have like a follow-up question. You talked about it from a theoretical level. Would you want to break it down? When you say store water, are we storing it in like a reservoir, or we are storing it in like an engine? Or would you want to like be more practical with storing water? How do we store the water? How do we put it on the plant? It seems a lot of theoretical. I need to be more practical.
Okay, yeah, that's